The judge denied YNW Melly's bond again. And after reading this paperwork, I'm gonna be real with you, man. The defense ain't moved the judge at all. Like, whatsoever. None. And this order basically explains why the court still feels like the state got enough evidence against Melly to keep him locked up to trial. And some of this stuff in here is low-key gonna tell you exactly what the judge mindset is right now. I'm about to break this paperwork down in court terms first. Then I'll come back and just give my take in people's terms and just break down basically what all this stuff means. Before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share, comment down below. It's T-RaeTv, and over here, I don't give lies or spin narratives. I just say what I feel. The state of Florida versus Jamel Demings. Order denying defendant's motion for Arthur hearing to set bond. This cause having come forward and been heard on April 30th, 2026, the court states as follows. The defendant previously filed a motion to set bond, quote, Arthur hearing on April 15th, 2023. The prior judge denied the defendant's motion to set bond on September 22nd, 2023. And a copy of the order filed on September 22nd is attached to and incorporated as part of this order. The defendant filed a second motion for pretrial release following a mistrial on March 28, 2025. The defendant filed a supplement and amendment to defendant's second motion for pretrial release following mistrial on April 29, 2025. The court conducted a hearing pursuant to State versus Arthur on May 6, 2025, and this court denied the defendant's second motion for pretrial release following the mistrial on April 12, 2025, and a copy of that order filed on May 12, 2025 is attached and incorporated as part of this order. The defendant filed a motion for Arthur hearing to set bond and incorporated memorandum of law on March 25, 2026. This court conducted a second hearing pursuant to State versus Arthur on April 30, 2026. The court reviewed the entire electronic court file in this present case. The court heard testimony from Audrey Gross, Nakia, can't say her last name, Kevin Corbett, Matthew Norman, and Victor Deliago. I know I said that wrong. The court admitted State exhibits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7 into evidence. The court took judicial notice of the prior jury trial, including the evidence admitted during the trial and the testimony of the witnesses during the trial, with the exception of any testimony and evidence that was subject to omnibus order on defendant's motion to suppress 1 through 13 entered by the judge on December 20, 2023. A copy of the order filed on December 20, 2023 is attached to. Court notes the omnibus order on defendant's motion to suppress 1 through 13 entered by the prior judge on December 20, 2023 has been affirmed in full by the 4th District Court of Appeal. This court finds Audrey Gross, Nakia, Kevin Corbett, Matthew Norman, and Victor Delgado are all credible. After considering all the evidence produced by the state, all the evidence produced by the defendant, the entire electronic court file in this present case, the testimony of the witnesses, the evidence admitted during the prior jury trial, with the exception of any evidence that was present to the omnibus order on defendant's motion to suppress 1 through 13 entered by the prior judge on December 2023, the testimony of the witnesses during the prior jury trial, with the exception of a testimony that was subject to the omnibus order of defendant's motion to suppress 1 through 13 entered by the prior judge on December 20, 2023, as well as the arguments from the state and the defendant. This court continues to find the state's evidence is arguably sufficient to convict and is not contradicted in a material respect, such that there is a substantial question of fact as to the guilt or innocence of the defendant. Therefore, pursuant to Gallo versus Lombardi, this court continues to find the proof of guilt is evident and the presumption of guilt is great. This court also adapts the reasoning contained in the order denying the defendant's motion to set bond filed on September 22, 2023, with the exception that this court does not make any findings that the defendant has not been affiliated with violent gangs, as well as the court's prior order denying defendant's second motion for pretrial release following mistrial May 2nd, 2025. A court of the order filed September 22nd and a copy of the order filed on May 12th, 2025 are both attached and incorporated as part of this order. According to the defendant, renewed motion for Arthur hearing the said bond is denied. The defendant shall continue to be held no bond as to count 1 and no bond as to count 2. Done and ordered at Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, Florida, this 6th day of May 2020. People online acting like this was only about the grandmother's testimony, the security guards, the representative from the label. Like, no, the judge went all the way back and looked at some old stuff to come up with this. This is where I feel like Drew's strategy failed, in my opinion. The judge says straight up, the state evidence is still arguably sufficient to convict. Drew's whole play when he came in this was the attack Detective Moretti's credibility, which I talked about that in my last video. He wanted to say that the investigation was messy and like basically imply that Bortland's statement was unreliable. We know it was a lie, but it's like he's trying to create doubt, so much doubt, till you damn near like you put the gun in Bortland's hand and just try to snatch MELLY completely out the fucking car. It's like, I don't know if you've been living under a damn rock, but that wasn't the way to go about it. What you think? This the dirt case? Now, you probably can pull that in the dirt case because technically they don't really just got a lot of shit on dirt compared to this. Like the MELLY shit and what's going on with Dirk as far as like incriminating stuff, or just how they got surveillance or MELLY getting in the back seat of the car. Not like they don't got all that on Dirk. They got that stuff on Dirk partners, the crash dummies that went out, but they don't got it on him. So if it was a situation like that, I could fully understand. But you trying to create doubt in that aspect, if I'm saying it right, in that sense, and just trying to take MELLY completely out the car and like trying to put this off on Borland just because he gave a messed up statement. Now the judge was basically saying, even with all that, that still ain't enough. Now, another thing the judge also says is that it's not enough contradiction in the evidence to create a substantial question about MELLY's innocence. What y'all think that means? In regular terms, the judge basically saying that this case ain't as weak as y'all trying to present this shit to me, and I ain't finna sit up here and go for it. Whatever the last judge went for when he was in, I'm just not lawfully. I'm gonna do my job the right way. Now, if y'all can get these jurors to do whatever the fuck, cool, that's between you and the jurors. But as far as me, I'm not just finna sit up here and deny no bond. Grant no bond as if this whole case is just weak. When we got all this other stuff that Detective Moretti worked hard to get, and all the other people that was on the case, and the last mistrial, like, man, if he hadn't made that one mistake with just trying to muddy the water, like falsifying shit, that's the only thing really fucked that dude up. And to just sit up here and ride on it so hard, it's like, what would you have to ride on if that wasn't an issue? What would it have been then? Like, what would your defense team have to work with then? And I want y'all to peep this. I know the one interesting thing too, where the judge removed the violent gang wording from the older order. That stood out to me, and it stood out because they still, like, to me, heavily leaning into all the gang affiliation stuff. Now, like I said, the gang enhancement charge has been thrown out, but some people still feel like what MELLY did and his role in all of this, it was kind of like a thing that furthers him in the game. What it was done literally for that, just the outcome was gonna boost his rank. It's just like with the Julio Fulio stuff. I just watching Kenny Caps take the stand the other day. He walked around and actually took the rap for the murder of Spaz, knowing that Bibby was the one who did it, all because of the rank that it gave him on the street. So some of these things, you just gotta think, bro. Like people can sit up here and act like this was. Man, I seen somebody say something in my comments, man. Just want to still bring up stuff that like Sack may have been funneling with these boys and shit like that, man. I'm just gonna say it like this. I strictly just think that this stuff was all about a messy mama and bad business when it came to the money. I don't think it was nothing else in between that. And whatever the outcome was on Melly's part, because he just ultimately crashed out allegedly, he was just done with all the shit he wanted out. It was gonna come with some type of street reward. He was gonna get further in rank up in his little blood set, whatever he in, and then she's gonna go by his music career, continue to make music, be one of the biggest blood in Florida that's a rapper, and we still on the internet and everybody just saying just for Juve, just for Sack, prayer for the family, prayer for that. But Melly just going back to his regular life. So I think you just gotta take all that into consideration when you just think it's just easy for a person to get a bond this damn fast, man. Or not this fast, just with a lawyer that you feel like is known for handling high profile cases. That don't mean he was just finna come in and just get this boy a bond at the very first hearing. When he arguing the state for like an hour, damn near 2 hours, and they ain't even trying to hear nothing you saying. They like, okay, what this got to do with the price of tea in China? You trying to put so many emphasis on some small shit to make it sound big. Like, man, we got so many bullets in this clip. This is an infinity clip with this shit that's going on. We can shoot this bitch all day. But overall, this paperwork basically just says that the court still believes that the state got a strong case. Melly still, he didn't get no bond, and the defense arguments don't outweigh the evidence. Period. And the trial is still in the main battlefield. It ain't getting easy. It's really, this is gonna be a fight, man. Today showed you how much of a fight this gonna be, especially with the judge pretty much explaining to you. Like, I'm sitting up here thinking last week, I'm like, man, I knew the bond wasn't gonna get granted. I knew he was gonna deny the bond because it's like two things. Melly should have been eligible for a bond before the last trial. Now, had he had got a bond last trial, and it ended the way that it, or whatever case, he was out while that was going on, that probably would have made things look a lot different this time around. And he would have probably got granted that same, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Am I making sense? Then two is like, you gotta think about how close trial is. Trial right around the corner, man. Like I told y'all in my last video I did on this. Let me get some rapper money. What Dirk was on when Dirk was trying to go to Dubai, I feel him. I feel that. Not saying that it's right, not saying that it's wrong, but shit, you already a done deal. You might as well just take your chances on running, because when they catch you, they gonna get your ass. So I'm just gonna run till I can't run no more. It's like, shit, make them do their job. I ain't finna just go put my ass in the back of their detective seat, in the back of their police car. So I said all that to say, you think about what if they had gave Melly a bond and granted him a bond. You kind of risking this dude really kind of like just going on the run for real. And folks probably say, well, his grandma just took the stand and said he ain't got no license, ain't got this, woo. Man, money is a motherfucker. Do y'all not remember how this boy snuck on the plane to go turn himself in when he had a warrant out for his arrest? They actually stuck him in a travel bag and put him in the back of the jet. And he's so damn dumb and stupid. He go on Instagram and post a video of him inside of the luggage. So I'll be looking at this shit just going like, man, I don't know what people sit like thinking at this point. Like, if you just a Melly fan, you just a Melly fan. I'm not a fan of Melly. And and me saying that don't mean that's the reason why I'm saying F him. So don't take it that way. I'm just saying I'm not fan out to the point where I see past the violence and the bullshit And I'm just so quick to scream, free these people, man. I don't care about them like that. I'd rather see them get what they got coming to them, especially if they did some messed up stuff, versus me just screaming freedom all because they little rank and notoriety or whatever they got in the industry, man. Fuck that industry. You got real deal people out here suffering right now who really going through it where they don't know what tomorrow might bring on the other side of this stuff. Because they gotta go against all that. Like I say, man, this dude, just hypothetically speaking, if he was to get found not guilty, if he was to walk away scot-free, you think he gonna just go pull an NBA young boy and go to the mountain somewhere in Utah and just get the fall out the face of the earth? No, he gonna pop it. He gonna pop it. And that lie just gotta I just say lie allegedly of you being a murderer. It just gotta follow you forever. You gotta stick to that for the rest of your life. When you go, it's kind of like the OJ shit. Where people, some folks feel like OJ did it. Some people feel like OJ didn't do it. But in OJ's mind, let's just go on a run and just write a book and do an interview about if I did do it, how I would do it. And miss me with this shit. I like that. That stuff kind of make my blood boil, man. At the end of the day, like, man, I'm out. Y'all be easy. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a good night, because it's starting to get crazy for real, man. Like, don't sit up here and just be that in denial, that dumb, that stupid. Please don't. Please don't. Because this man can easily get out or get off scot-free. That don't necessarily mean he innocent. That don't mean he guilty either. But I just really believe in my heart, man, for a judge to be like 2 judges, 3, however many, to just deny every bond. Since 2019, every time you done went before the judge for a hearing, your bond has been denied every single time. So, and it's like, we don't even care how your defense trying to paint it like you back here inhumane. We know what's up. Ain't nobody treating you bad, dude. Your ass in some real trouble. So we gonna sit you down and we gonna get through this. Just hang on. But you in some real trouble right now. So we gonna treat this as if you are in some real trouble. And I don't think nothing wrong with that, man. I don't think nothing wrong with that at all. And they be pissing me off to just sit up here and see so many people try to find little small little things and details. Like one dude gonna say that, earlier before I did this video, MELLY never got brought up on no gang stuff. Like them other guys were more affiliated in the game than he was. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? I shine, you shine, we shine? Oh yeah? Like, man, I'm not the person that you can just really sit up here and just play that game with, bro. I know what that shit means. I shine, you shine, we shine. We all shine. Like, I know what this shit is, bro. Blame yourself if you so fucking fanned out to the point where you don't got no street scene. I ain't one of them type of people, and I can't help you with that. Y'all be easy.